The third assignment that is part of your research to practice assignment is your research presentation. So now that you've written your annotated bibliography and your mini research paper, what you want to do is use that information to create a presentation. The presentation can be as simple as PowerPoint. Students have used Prezis in the past, or there's a series of other tools that you can use or software programs that you can use online. There's Zaption, there's quite a number of different software programs available for this. But what the main premise is that you are going to be presenting this information to your 6211 classmates, and so it should be information that's stemming from your research paper, but you want to tweak it so that it's in a research presentation format. So as I said before in a previous video, when I do research, I take my findings and I present it at research conferences. So this is something similar where you're going to be presenting the research that you came up with to your colleagues in this class. And there'll be 1 week allotted to actually just watching presentations from different colleagues or classmates in this class later on in the semester. So the presentation is going to include a thorough and in-depth review of the two topics, so your two main ideas, along with evidence for those topics, information on how this concept can be used in a real-world classroom, so your implications piece. And for those of you that are not teachers, it could be in a practitioner setting. And then you're also going to talk about the theory, and you're going to provide resources for further information. So these resources can be links to websites, videos, any type of resource that you want that the classmates can go to further their knowledge. So they should be web links to different sources of information. The presentation is going to be graded based on its organization, so it should be organized and conducive to learning new ideas. There should be learning objectives at the beginning. So what do you want the person looking at the presentation to learn? There should be the purpose of the presentation. So what is the research question? Why is it important? The chosen theory should be explained. And then each main idea should be presented with the evidence base for it, with the goal of the learner obtaining full understanding of the objectives and the ability to apply the objectives to instruction, and also including references throughout. So another criteria is really the thoroughness of the information that's being provided. You want to make sure that there's enough information provided, that it's accurate, that it's informative. You want to make sure that it's evidence-based. So using ORMROD as a resource is okay, especially when you're talking about theory, but you're expected to include the same references you've been using throughout, and more if necessary. So I should be seeing those same references from the annotated bibliography and mini research paper showing up again in this presentation. And finally, I would like to see you starting to cross that line into more of the practitioner base and thinking about what kind of strategies can be incorporated and how can the information be reconciled within a practitioner focus. So thinking about how to move the information from a more research setting to a more practitioner setting. And finally, including those helpful resources that I mentioned prior. And so again, the grading rate rubric represents this. So you get 1 point for organization. You get 2 points for thoroughness, 2 points for relevance of research. So you want to make sure it's all evidence-based. 2 points for including strategies for reconciling research to practice. And then 2 points also for the 3 helpful resources. So you want a helpful resource regarding the theory and a helpful resource for each of the 2 main ideas. Here's an example of the PowerPoint that goes along with the annotated bibliography and mini paper that I showed you. So here's the slideshow. How will utilizing differentiated instruction increase student performance in elementary classrooms? There's an introduction that talks a little bit about the objectives. How can we ensure that all learners' needs are met? In what way can teachers implement differentiated instruction within lesson plans in order to improve student learning and achievement? And professional development trainings will assist teachers in implementing lessons that provide all learning styles an opportunity to learn. The different topics, there's the theories, the two main ideas are presented. She goes on to talk about the two different theories. There's Vygotsky's theory from the textbook, Piaget's theory from the textbook as well, and then talking about how to implement differentiated instruction, and this is from evidence-based practice here, or evidence-based research. Again, how to implement differentiated instruction, gauging and monitoring success, some statistical results from a study. Then, how can teachers effectively create differentiated lessons, which has to do with her second theme. And again, everything is cited. If you notice down here, her slides all have citations. And then some of the benefits of differentiated instruction. So this comes into the practice piece. Why is it important? What's the teacher's responsibility? Again, merging the research piece with more of a practitioner approach. And finally, some helpful resource links for the theories as well as for the themes, and her reference list. So it's short. It's really just taking what you have presented in your paper and making it into a thorough, user-friendly presentation for your classmates. So this is, again, due in November. So you have plenty of time, November 1st. It's going to be submitted through Canvas, and then once it's reviewed and graded, then we'll share it with your classmates so that everybody has an opportunity to view it. I'm happy again to view drafts of this if necessary, so I can provide feedback for you at least 1 week in advance, if not prior to that.